Hi, it's Scott, ROCKFILE, back with another podcast review for you. This time we're going to talk about the new 4K release for FURIOSA, a Mad Max saga. I'll stay away from spoilers because you deserve to see the film as it is. I'll talk about the 4K release. Also very excited. This is my first podcast recorded at home standing up. I do all of my podcasts that I record at work standing up. I do my disc jockey shift as standing up. It just gives me more energy. And at home, I've been sitting down, and that seems to produce a more subdued podcast. So this one's standing up. Kind of excited about that. So I missed this earlier in the year. It only played for a few weeks here, and I did mean to see it in the theater. Whatever was going on, I was just busy. Just didn't get a chance to go see it. So I pre-ordered from grov.com. If you haven't used that site, I highly recommend it. Free shipping, and for me, since there's no state tax, there's no tax on it either. The price of the 4K is what you pay. Ordered the limited edition steelbook, which seems a little bit hard to get. We'll talk a little bit about that at the end of the review. And it came in early. Got it on Friday. It's a rainy day on Saturday, so I watched it. I'm posting the review early so you can decide whether or not you're going to pick this up when it comes out on Tuesday. So the movie is fantastic. It really is. It's a different animal than Fury Road. It's a different animal than all the other Mad Max movies. I recently rewatched all of the Mad Max movies in 4K and did reviews for each one if you want to go check those out on whatever channel you're listening to this on. But I finally got to see this new chapter, and it is a completely different movie. Matter of fact, it's a little bit like every Mad Max movie that there's been so far, all rolled into one with a new story and mostly new characters, some of which we've seen before. Not getting into any spoiler territory, but if you've seen the previous Mad Max movies, you're going to like some of the little things that happen in this film, and some of the big things as well. I think Anya Taylor-Joy is amazing in the film. I think Chris Hemsworth is almost invisible in the film. I mean, he disappears into the role. Everybody does great. The effects are great. There's a little bit more blue screen type stuff, green screen type stuff in this movie than there has been in previous ones, but they're telling a much more epic story. I wasn't even halfway through the film going, this is a more epic movie than any of the Mad Max movies have been so far. The 4K looks great. Like I said, I got the limited edition steelbook. It's beautiful, well packaged from grov.com with no dents or scratches or anything. The movie is a native 4K transfer. It looks about as great as any of them look. It looks a lot like Fury Road, but more, more epic. They took more time. There was obviously a lot of time given to the shots. Some shots are very short, like you've seen in the trailer with the fire coming from behind her. She's in kind of a cross pattern behind her, and the fire's coming around, her hair's blowing. That doesn't last very long in the film. It doesn't last very long in the trailer, but it's all these little shots stringed together that make this an epic fable. He's created a new kind of Mad Max movie. Looks great and sounds great. I would say this surround sound mix, this Dolby Atmos mix, is on par with the last one, if not even better. There were some times where some interesting things happen. Interesting debris lands on top of the roof of the vehicle you're in, and it's in the upper speakers. Atmos, if you've never really experienced it, really gives you this dome of sound like you're in the movie. More than just like the standard 5.1 stuff that you've probably heard most of your life. High marks for the video, almost perfect. I didn't notice any artifacts or anything else. The video was perfect all the way through. The film is almost 2.5 hours long. Had no issues playing the 4K on my player. I give it my highest marks of movies this year. It is up there with Dune 2 as just being almost reference quality video and sound. You would get exactly what you got in the theater. It sounds amazing. It looks amazing. You got great characters. You got a great story. 2.5 hours flew by. It's a rainy day. I'm not one to usually spend an afternoon watching a movie if it's beautiful here in Alaska, but today was a pretty gnarly, nasty day. I didn't have to get out. Spent 2.5 hours in the world of Mad Max. I'm starting to watch the extras. The first one is an hour-long documentary. It's really great. They go into great detail. A lot of time, effort, and love was put into this movie. They had almost 9 years between Fury Road and this to just fine-tune this movie. When I first heard it was 2.5 hours, when I first heard it was a prequel, I wasn't the most excited for this film, but the trailers came out and the reviews were good, and I was really excited to get this early. So if you get a chance to get the Steelbook, that's the way I would go. But in any case, this will be released on Tuesday, August the 13th. And it's probably one of the best home video releases of the year thus far. Don't know what else I can say about it without getting into spoilers. It's an epic story of how Furiosa became Furiosa. Anya Taylor-Joy doesn't even show up for about halfway through the movie. I'm totally fine with it. It told a great story. We get great depth from these characters. And like I said, Chris Hemsworth just disappears into the character. If I didn't know it was him, if I had not known about that beginning, it would have taken me a while to come around to that. He is just so different. There's a little prosthetic work, some makeup work, gives him a different nose and the beard and everything else. He just doesn't look like the normal Thor character he usually plays. And he is a pretty off-the-rails kind of character, as most of the characters in Mad Max movies are. This is very much a Mad Max film. It introduces some new things. When I said it has bits and pieces of previous Mad Max movies, like Fury Road, over half the movie is that one long chase scene. Well, this has chase scenes from all the movies and more broken up in between some epic story beats. So you get an amazing scene, maybe 2/3 of the way through the film, where Anya Taylor-Joy is literally all over one of these super rigs they've built. From front to back, top to bottom, front to back again. They spend so much time, you know exactly where she is the entire time. George Miller has crafted such a visual story, you could almost watch it without dialogue. She doesn't have a whole lot of dialogue in most of the film. They shortened up some monologues that are usually long in these kind of films. They shortened up some of the action scenes so you get just enough that you want more, and then another one comes that's even more inventive and more crazy. All in all, I hope they make another one. It ties everything up. This is definitely part of the Mad Max story, and there's room to make more movies. I would like to see more. It's an excellent 4K disc. It's an excellent Steelbook release. Pick it up when it comes out on Tuesday, August 13th. I'm Scott. I'm ROCKFILE. Maybe we'll do a spoiler podcast later on, but in the meantime, check out this flick. If you like any of the Mad Max movies before, you need to see this film. Enjoy Furiosa, a Mad Max saga. It's available this week. I'm Scott. I'm ROCKFILE. Hit the links below if you want to support the channel, and have a spectacular day.